Hello, I'm Richard Vobes, the Bald Explorer, out on another walk, and this is the second of my explorations of Ely. I don't know too much about Ely, and I'm not going to pretend that I do, but somebody who is an absolute genius on internet things and websites and stuff is Sharon Brown, but nothing to do with Ely.
And then nothing about Ely.
No.
Other than
it's a lovely, majestical place.
We're here, yes.
Yes.
Fantastic
So
place to come and visit.
we've already made a hash of having a look at the cathedral and trying to describe it and fit it all in.
Yeah.
It's fair to say that if you're a visitor for the first time, you're just sort of gobsmacked by it.
Exactly, yeah.
The majestic.
It's so vast.
Yes. Yeah. And if you don't know all the technical terms and the architectural terms and all that, you're sort of a bit lost for words.
Yeah.
We're lost for them. However, we're now taking a little stroll, which we thought we'd share with you, down to the river. Do we know what the river is called?
We don't even know that.
I think it's the Great Ouse, isn't it?
Is it?
Here we go.
So, yeah.
Say hello to Sharon, who's also with us.
Seems to be the only one that knows anything, and I'm not really sure about that either. But I'm
So
sure.
we're hoping that it's the Great Ouse.
Yes, I think it could.
On the fens, isn't it? Coming up is a very large gatehouse of some description. I don't know whether we're in part of the old abbey or the old cloister that was here before the cathedral was a cathedral, but we have the same screaming babies that were in the last video, which just ruined the end of it. Now, just showing continuity, ladies and gentlemen, in the video. But that is a magnificent building, and that does look very medieval in age.
Lovely.
Couldn't tell you how old it is.
Way, isn't it? Or
But
like-
yeah.
The
Hang on.
gate was begun in 1396, completed in 1417. Ely Porter.
Oh, Ely Porter.
Latin for gate.
Well, there we go. It sounded
Okay.
like a lovely drink, didn't it?
It does, yes.
Yeah, it
Punch
does
porter.
actually,
Yeah,
Lovely,
could do
yes.
with a nice
Yeah.
porter. But anyway, that's that, and that's going to be behind us because we're going to make a little pilgrimage down to the river. But before we get there, look, there's some lovely cows to look at. There's a particularly happy cow sitting like a pig in the mud. Hello, cow. You want to come and say hello? Not really. The fact that they're sitting down, does that mean it's going to suddenly start raining? Not sure. If you just come down here, just as we've just paused on the way to the river, we've discovered this tree here. A tree, yes, it's a tree. I know, I like the trees, okay? But this is another tree. Julia will be liking this one. It's an old London plane. We know London plane trees date from, I think, 16 something, just before the Great Fire of London, as I recall. And we know that from the bark. I'll just show you some of the bark. Here's the bark. Yeah. But also, what's fascinating is it's come into leaf, and I've not seen the leaf before, so that's interesting for me. And then there's these very tiny little, I don't know what they are. They must be some of the smaller fruit just about to grow. And here is some of the larger fruit, these incredible baubles, which are just lovely to look at. I get somewhat carried away when I see trees.
This is all fresh growth here, isn't it? Or this bit.
Yeah.
So this is it.
And they're red. It's a very burgundy red colour.
Yeah, and then like these ones, the older ones, look like they've dried. And they're just hanging on by a, dried fibre.
Yeah, it is. It does look like it's been decorated with them, doesn't it? They almost like a Christmas tree, but it's not. Just approaching the river now, and we're going through an area called Jubilee Gardens on a track that or a path that is shaped very eel-like. There's actually an eel festival going on as we record. But down to the Great Ouse, and now you see pleasure boats and narrow boats and interesting water features down here, and it's very beautiful, I have to say. But back in the 15th century we saw a little artist's impression of all the barges and the tannery pits and various slightly more industrial, medieval industrial scale stuff. Not as clean and pleasant as it is now, but very, very nice. So here we are, Simon Brown.
It's lovely down here by the marina, isn't it?
Isn't it? Very nice. We're going to stroll along and see if we can find a place to have a cup of coffee. I think that's the plan.
Coffee shop or something, yeah. I think we'll have to go this way behind us.
Somewhere there, isn't there? Which way behind us?
Well,
oh, that way.
that
Sorry,
way.
you were looking that way.
Sorry. Potentially
There's
that
one
place
there.
Yeah, we could perhaps try that.
Okay.
But yeah, that'd be lovely. Sit by the river,
Which
have
way
a
should we
coffee.
go?
Let's go this way.
Going this way. So this Great Ouse comes out at, where does it come out? Great Yarmouth, doesn't it?
I think
That's
it comes out in the Wash, actually.
Oh, in the Wash.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything comes out in the Wash, doesn't it?
Yeah, this is the same river that goes through St Neots.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Where you live?
Where we live. It's quite a long river. But I'm fairly sure it comes out in the Wash. That's again another fact we need to check.
Yes. So these two videos, I have to say, have been pretty factless.
Freeform videos.
Freeform videos. But this is the Cutter Inn. I dare say they do a nice cup of coffee.
Yeah.
There are people sitting outside. Look at that.
Give this a go.
We'll give it a whirl. There's also the Grand Central over there, which has Pim's o'clock written on it.
Wow.
But just to finish off then, let's just take in a little bit of this marvellous marina on the view here. Here it is. Look at that. It's amazing. I just feel that we should be in a narrow boat ourselves, really. And there in the distance, a train going over to complete the picture, if that really completes anything. Simon and Sharon have just gone in to get the coffees, I think, so I will say goodbye and thank you very much for watching. But actually, just before I say goodbye, you've got a commanding view up there, Mr. Brown. There's a lovely little boat coming, so I'm just going to say goodbye and look at the boat as it goes through. It's very free-flowing format in today's show, but hey, it looks absolutely marvellous. Let's have a look at this. Liberty Bell, there we go. Lynn Union River Cruises. Hello to you. Very lively. Look at that. So join me again when I go bold exploring. Until the next time, goodbye.